Right then, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship. We are here for round number 7 of the 2021 Formula 2 Championship here at the Hockenheimring in Germany for the German Grand Prix. Yes, we're finally back with ACOC, and we move on to round 7 of the calendar here in Hockenheim. For yet another German Grand Prix here in Formula 2. Got 20 minutes of qualifying just ahead of us here. My name is Miran in the commentary booth today. And joining me this afternoon is none other than Giuseppe. Good afternoon to you as well.
Good afternoon, Miran. Always nice to be back to the Hockenheimring, so we can expect some good racing here. 80 minutes on the clock, and we see Hidayat going on, being the first one to go on the lap.
Yes, indeed. Hidayat, the first man out, then currently on his qualifying lap, and as you'll witness him going around the circuit, I will take you through the track. So, the Hockenheimring, officially known as the Hockenheimring Baden-Württemberg, named after the region in which it is located in, near the town of Hockenheim, situated just off the Rhine Valley. The track was opened in 1932 and was called the Dreieckskurs, meaning the triangle course in German, and I believe was over 12 kilometers long when it first opened. Obviously, it was shortened many times. It went out of use during World War II. But it would come back in the 1960s and 70s and would begin to host Formula 1 in 1970, and also hosted motorcycle racing intermittently all the way until 1994. Apart from hosting the German Formula 1 Grand Prix and the Motorcycle Grand Prix, it has also hosted a few different racing series as well. DTM has been a mainstay here since 2000. And then you have GT World Challenge Europe, World Superbikes formerly ran here, same with FIA GT, the World Sports Car Championship, and even Rallycross ran here for 2 seasons. The World Rallycross Championship was hosted here at Hockenheim for 2 years. But yeah, this layout then, which was redesigned in 2002 by Hermann Tilke, is 4.574 kilometers long, features 17 turns, and we should, a fastest lap here, 1:23.1. But yeah, this is honestly a very interesting track. There's not a lot of elevation to play with here. It is a very flat surface, obviously also due to where it is located, just near the Rhine Valley. But the track has got a very elegant mix of high and low speed corners. It's a very tight and pretty old school track as well, though it does have a lot of runoff. So yeah, it certainly is a very interesting track. But yeah, I think I'd like to hear your thoughts about it, Giuseppe.
Honestly, the Hockenheimring is a track I really like. It's that some good flowing corners, like especially the first time you just come in, swoop round, fast right-hander. Then you have got some interesting straights, very good turns, good overtaking spots. But also you need to be careful because the section of the track where you go a bit off the track and then your whole race can be over. Is notoriously probably like the section towards the end where we see sector 3. If you go a bit off the track, you're already in the gravel. So it's a very nice circuit to drive on, but you also gotta be very careful. It's got this nice nature, so that of just like, you know, those flowing corners, as I said, and you gotta be careful as well. So if you can nail the lap, it's very satisfying to get right.
Yes, indeed. And today then, all focus is gonna be on the championship, because it is looking very close in the top 3, and I have to say, and theoretically, everyone in the top 9 of the championship are able to take the lead of the championship here today at Hockenheim. So we could have a very, very shock result if things just go upside down, really. But Jean-Francois Bilot, after his dominant back-to-back victories at Silverstone and the Hungaroring, now sits at the top of the championship, 57 points, and he is 5 points ahead of Axel Socki in the HWA Race Lab, and then 7 points behind championship leader below. In third is the man who currently sits on provisional pole, by the way, Henry J. Brown in the Charouz, who just came off of P2 at the Hungaroring, so he is looking strong today, looking to carry on that pace today. But yeah, the championship is looking very, very close at the moment.
Yeah, it is looking weird because the drivers very close together. I think if we do -25, so a win, it goes till the ninth position in the championship. That's Richard Sundevik. So we can expect anything, honestly.
We really, really can. It's going to be super interesting to see what is going to happen, as you have Tobias Schulenberg fighting with Håkon Olsen, that is, on his qualifying lap. That's not going to do him any wonders, as he currently sits in 8th. Very close through turn number 11. I think, let's see if Schulenberg, in his home race as well, will be able to get round the outside line of Håkon Olsen. He's going to have to hope for a good result here, as Jean-Francois Bilot, the man who leads the championship, by the way, only improving up into 17th.
It seems like he's not doing his best right now, but of course he's got 12 minutes left. If he would be in F1, you know, you'd have the system where you have Q3, Q2, Q1, and then you would have absolutely no time left. But considering he's got 12 minutes, still has enough time to maybe see and think where he can go better, as well as any other of the drivers, honestly, who are sitting in the bottom half. So that's why I like F2 qualifying, because you've got so much time to just, you know, perfect your lap time that you really can't expect who's going to be on pole. Along with the fact that the cars are all spec. So I think that's what probably F2 qualifying session is one of the most interesting, to be honest.
It really, really is interesting, and we get some crazy close qualifyings. For those who do remember when we came here last season in Formula 2, we had an absolute thriller for qualifying, especially towards the end. And as the checker flag fell, you had Michael Valiak, who was debuting here, by the way, taking a first ever pole position on his debut as the checkered flag just fell. It was absolutely ridiculous and an incredibly thrilling qualifier as well. So if that is anything to go by, we should be in for a very, very interesting qualifying session, that's to say the least.
Yes, 10 minutes have gone by. To recap top 3. Right now, J. Brown, who's setting a lap right now as well. 1/10 behind him sits Alex Luan, and then we have Adam Hidayat. So actually, let's see if J. Brown can set an even better lap time. It's now at sort of the half length of the track, as this lap is around 1:30. So now he's entering sector 3. Of course, seems like he's not on that bad way. He's only 400 of his lap time, so he needs a strong sector 3. But other than that, gonna come through the final 2 corners. So let's look at the lap mirror, shall we? Let's see how it ends up.
Yeah, we'll just see as he rounds the final corner then. Looks like a very neat and tidy sector 2. Let's see if he can improve on his lap. No, he's just 700ths off. And that was obviously coming off the lap after he'd improved on his pole time. So Henry J. Brown is looking flying today, as Ide Weitz now goes up into 3rd in the car in a 1:26.351. He gets himself 0.02 of a second ahead of Adam Hidayat, who now gets pushed down into 4th. But yeah, it's now 4th for Ide Weitz then, as Rowan Shotanis goes up into 2nd. Really Sundevik now up into P6, as that gets 3. That gets all 3 Red Bull cars in the top 10. So yeah, it's getting quite interesting here then. Speaking of the Red Bull cars, Ole Boaks gets ahead of his fellow Red Bull Junior team member, Really Sundevik, as the Brit will now go up into P6. Ollie Boaks, who obviously is doing significantly better. He's had a significantly better start to the season than the last. Scored a podium at Paul Ricard and scored P5 at the Hungaroring. So Ollie is looking to carry on his good run of form into this later end of the season as well, I do suppose. He's got a bit of traffic there up ahead. It's one of the Tridents and one of the Campos cars, so don't think he's going to be able to go for any more runs here, unfortunately. He divides, sets yet another improvement, but the Swede will stay in 4th. Another notable performer I'd like to mention then at the moment is Alex Luan in 3rd. Absolutely brilliant qualifying lap from Alex Luan so far, who's failed to score points in all races, bar the first race of the season where he scored a podium. So, yeah, things might be looking on the up for Alex Luan here at Hockenheim. And what are your thoughts on that, Giuseppe?
Yeah, honestly, in general, if you look at that, the top 3 looks to be insanely close right now. I think it's not even separated by a 10th if you actually do the exact calculations. And even the top 4, actually, I have to say. So, other than him, I guess we can expect, honestly, except if we see packs like these now, because there's a lot of drivers on the track, as you can see. So if it gets crowded like that, it's of course a bit more difficult to get an improvement in. But honestly, I just know that all of these drivers here on this field can just surprise me. So that's why, honestly, with F2, I just let myself surprise me and see who gets on pole. But I have to agree with you, there is definitely looking strong, as is, as you saw before, Henry J. Brown, who's also setting pretty consistent lap times. So certainly something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is looking very interesting then right now, as Rosetta Martinez, the Filipino man, now joins the fray, as he sets a 1:26.397. Tobias Schwulenberg, home hero, up into 4th and on to the 2nd row with a 1:26.253, and he now becomes the leading Prema here at the Hockenheim ring. Obviously, we were expecting Rodrigo Jimenez to be able to do something like that, but he is down in 13th. It's not looking that good for Rodrigo Jimenez, but Tobias Schulenberg certainly enjoying himself right now.
That was a great lap time who got him up into 4th. And very close to even pole. So it's looking good for him right now. As we're going to look at looking now at Rodrigo Jimenez, who is also very far up in the standings. We want to get a good result here in quali. Is now going to come across the line. Let's see what it will be. It's a very strong lap time. That puts him up into P3.
Super stuff from Rodrigo Jimenez, and that is definitely going to be what he needs, and especially Prema as well, as they now sit 3 and 5 here in qualifying. There's Hwang Min Nguyen improving up into 12, make that 13th, as Jakuba Zukauskas now is up into 8th then. To get his ART into the top 10 with a 1:26.378. But yeah, now this makes things quite a lot more interesting, I have to say, with Rodrigo Jimenez going up into 3rd, especially in the championship. You got Henry J. Brown, who is about 6 points ahead of Rodrigo Jimenez in the championship, and he currently sits on pole with Jimenez in 3rd. So I think if things stay like this, I'm sure they won't, but if things do stay like this, it's going to be quite an interesting predicament in the championship, I would say. And especially with Jean-Francois Bilot currently in P21, as Aaron Curtis out of absolutely nowhere. What a lap from the Campos drivers, a 1:26.182 to get himself onto the 2nd row. That is 2nd place, and only 200ths off Poleman Brown. Incredible stuff.
There's a great lap time, and Sunebig improves as well. But actually, to correct you, it's the, I guess, the 1st row. But actually correct me, and then we get shot on this now, up into 1st, 1:26.095. That's a great lap time.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the Dutchman Rowan Schotanus, as he now takes provisional pole here at Hockenheim, And after 16 minutes, Henry J. Brown finally gets dethroned by the man in the MP Motorsport, Rowan Shotanas. Brilliant stuff from him. And now then the question will be, if we're going to have another pole sitter, if Rowan is going to be able to defend that pole time from the others. We'll just see if there will be a time stronger than that one. But at the moment, 1:26.095 will be the time to beat for the rest of the 21 drivers here.
Yeah, with 3.5 minutes to go, I think we see with someone in the 25s is really anyone with that pace. But I think a high 25 is something we can expect towards the later end of the session. And I'm just gonna give those drivers time to set an even better lap time than they have now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see then if anyone is going to be able to improve. And one man who certainly would need an improvement here is Axel Socki, the Norwegian, who currently sits in 13th. And out of the points, would definitely love to get up there with his championship rivals, Jimenez and Brown, and try and do something there, as that is Jean-Francois Bilot, who also is outside of the points, trying to attempt a move to the inside line of the Norwegian, but it just wasn't close enough just yet. But we're going to see their Sector 2 time here then, as Socki makes his way around turn number 8, and then through turn 9 and 10 down this little straightaway. Let's see what's going to be for Socki. 6/10 off. I'm not sure if that's going to be an improvement, but on to provisional pole. Into the 125s he goes. Ide White with a great lap. 2/10 clear of Rowan Shotanas. Where did that come from? From the man in the Carlin. Either way, with 2 minutes to go, he now takes the P1 spot away. Great stuff from Ide White, but it's not meant to last, as Henry J. Brown takes back his spot. 1:25.799 the time. The pole time comes down even further here in qualifying, as Henry J. Brown and the Charouz now darts back up into provisional pole. And it's heating up here, Giuseppe.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd get like a 125.9, but no, they've proven me wrong. And it's not even getting a very, very high 125.7, of course, because 799. Didn't expect that, but actually, Jimenez, a man who is there in the top 5. Let's see what he can do. See if we see another shock improvement as he comes across the line. It's not an improvement that he, of course, keeps his spot there in P5 for now. Yeah, 1.5 minutes to go, so most of these drivers now will start to only have one more attempt before the session eventually ends. I see that up to the P4, great lap.
Yeah, brilliant lap from Adam Hidayat. I have to say, it's been a very good start to the season for Adam Hidayat. Obviously, he would have maybe hoped for better things in the consistency department, but I'm pretty sure he won't be complaining about his race win at Paul Ricard. Either way, he is obviously going to want to follow that up, and right now I think he's doing very well here in qualifying. The 1:26.104, that is currently the second row for Adam Hidayat with 40 seconds to go. Not anymore, as Rosetta Martinez now goes up into P3 with a 1:25.857. He now gets himself onto the second row. P3 it is, and he joins Ide White and Henry J. Brown in the 125 club. Could be on for a very good lap here as well then. In the first sector, he's 300ths up on Henry J. Brown's pole time, and with 15 seconds to go, if Martinez won't be able to nail this, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be the pole for him, that's to say the least. Tobias Schulenberg improves, but he stays in 9th, and as the checker flag is just about to fall, can Håkon Olsen get another lap in? I think he might have just, but he goes up into P10. Ollie Boaks into 11th. Hwang Min Nguyen across the line. Adam Hidayat is next across, but he doesn't improve. So a lot of people across the line there, but only 2 improvements, as Thunletor and Konkum is now next across the line.
As you see him going around these double right-handers, one after the other, now on the straight, DRS wide open. What can he make out of this? It's an improvement. He takes himself out of not the best spot, puts himself out 14, solid lap time, as I think Henry J. Brown is coming in, because he did slow down. So Brown, confident with his lap time. Martinez as well, as he's in P3. Let's look at Valyak then, who's also very far down the order, but we know what he's capable of, as it now comes around the final corner. I think that's below maybe as well, one of the dams, or no, one of the HWAs. As Vayak stays where he is, and Wasaki, sorry, he also stays where he is, so no
Below is
improvements for the
in.
two of them. Below is in, so our championship leader does not improve. Stays down in P19. As actually, look at Alex Lan now. Coming across the line, he's only 8th, doesn't improve. And now Sundari, one of the last cars to finish. Across the line once again. What will it be? It's a good lap time to put him into P11. So decent improvement. You can never get enough improvements. As we look at now Olsen, as his penultimate car. So now he's currently in P10. And we did see him have a pretty decent start to his lap time, but he stays in P10. And that's your results. Henry J. Brown is on pole.
Yeah, great stuff from Henry J. Brown, and he claims his first pole of the season then. And so that is qualifying done and dusted. And before we get on with the race, it is time to go through the starting grid then before lights out here at the Hockenheimring. And it is on pole position, Henry J. Brown in his Charus machine starts P1, and accompanying him on the front row with a brilliant qualifying effort once again, Idevites starts in second for Carlin. Rosella Martinez will be third. Great stuff from him as well. Same would go for Rowan Shotanus in fourth. A lot of good performers here today, I have to say. Adam Hidayat starting in P6 with Aaron Curtis in sixth. Rodrigo Jimenez in fourth in the championship will start in seventh, with Alex Luan in eighth. Home hero Tobias Schulenberg is ninth, with Håkon Olsen rounding out the top 10.
And just outside the top 10, we have Ridley Sundevik in P11, followed by his teammate Ollie Bogues. Looking down further, we have Jokubas Darkashkas in 13th and Trinito Konko in 14th. And in 15th, we have Alex Soki, followed by Michal Valjak and Soki's teammate Wang Nguyen. In 18th, we have Jake Tilsley, along with our championship leader, Jean-François Bilot. I think, though, that might change this race, unless he pulls off a miraculous comeback. Then we have Ari Soil in 20th, and the last two spots of the grid are occupied by Nicky Volgi, and in last, we have Gabriel Gomez.
Yeah, and that is it then. The grid is set for 27 laps of action around the Hockenheimring here. So the lights are on. And we are not underway here at the Hockenheimring.
Okay.
We can try again then, as the lights are coming on then for 27 laps here at the Hockenheimring. And we're underway here at the Hockenheimring. Good start for Henry J. Brown. Not as much for Idevites. I think Martinez has got the jump on the Swede heading into turn number 1. As yes, they are going to be side by side. And this is good news for Henry J. Brown, as that's going to give him an early advantage. But Idevites is able to hold him off. Here comes Ron Shotanus then to try and make a dive for the podium. But he isn't able to do that as a crash at the back. And that's Tunyatorn Konkum, the Thai driver, out. Heading out of turn number 1, and I think he is gonna be one of 2 DNFers. I think Gabriel Gomez. I'm not sure who else is out, but we'll see that later on. Then as Rowan Shotanus then heading into the hairpin, it's gonna go around the outside line. And Rosetta Martinez trying to go on the outside line there, as they almost banged wheels, but Shotanus adamant to try and make it stick, to try and get himself up into the podium here as they head through turn 7 and now into the braking zone of turn 8. Shotanus on the inside line as they go wheel to wheel through sector 3, through the turn 9 and 10 chicane. They are still fighting it out. Great racing on the opening lap here at the Hockenheimring as Shotanus goes round the outside through Mobile 1, turn number 11, and into Sachs, turn number 12. He's there on the inside line, and Martinez runs very, very wide, and that finally puts a very exciting battle to rest as Ron Shotanus is up into P3.
That was an insane battle. Went on nearly all of the lap. Although now we see some more battling once again. I think that's for P10. I'm not sure what it is, but we have there's Tunevik now in P11. Probably defending his position because he probably lost it to, I assume, to Kaushkas. But actually there's more fighting at the back. If you look at Ollie Bogues here, there's a very big pack of cars. As Bogues goes on a die, fighting these two Kaushkas there, side by side. Now onto the straight, Bogues has the advantage. And now he's trying to move to Sundevik.
Yeah, he got a very, very good run out of turn number 4, and he's going to utilize that. It only takes Kauskas, but his high-tech teammate really Sundevik as he heads into turn number 6, the hairpin. They're side by side then, the two Red Bull liveried high-techs, as we head down into turn number 7. Boaks on the inside line for P11, the last position before the points, but unfortunately it's just a bit more than he can chew, Ollie Boaks, and he's going to have to stay in P12.
There's another fight going on now. Ari Sola versus Gabriel Gomez. Gabriel Gomez made a low position up into the start. Remember, he started last. Now up into P17. As he does not make the move into Sola, but still great defending and great batting from the two of them. As I think now the field has started to calm down a bit. But man, that's a very eventful first 2 laps. And now we're heading on to lap 3.
Yeah, that's Michael Valiak running a bit wide. Jean-Francois Bilot could try and do something here, but this is really not where Jean-Francois Bilot needs to be. So far down the field, it's not been a good start for him either, so I think in the worst case scenario he's going to get stuck there. But let's see what happened on lap 1 here. As there's Tunetorn Konkum, and he spins out. Ooh. Takes Valiak with him, so I think that's what happened to Michael Valiak, and just parks it up on the side of the road there. And yeah, I don't know what you'd say about that. Either way, situation at the race lead, then Henry J. Brown leads from either Vites, but we're going to look to the two high-techs once again then as the teammates scrap for P11. Ollie Boaks going to try to go on the outside line through turn 4. They will go. Boaks with the overspeed then heading down the backs, heading down the Parabolica here with the DRS, and it's no, unfortunately for Sundevik, Boaks is no match for him just yet, but he's still going to try it down the inside line, still trying to defend his position and then get back up into P11. None of these drivers really letting each other go despite being teammates, as Sundevik's there on the inside line, then into the Mercedes corner. Then Sundevik is on the outside line, gets the better exit as Boaks goes over the curb slightly through turn 9 and 10. And now Sundevik on the inside line, Boaks getting the better power on the exit there and has the outside line through Mobile 1, and as a result is finally able to get past his teammate. What an incredible battle we just witnessed.
Yeah, no real contact, just two teams respecting each other and going at it with all they can. Just love to see it. And that's Ollie Boaks up into P11.
Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant. From Ollie Boaks, and a super battle between the two high-techs. You really have to give it to them, as you're now looking at Rowan Shotanus trying to close in on a struggling Ida Vites. As Shotanus, if he is able to get past Vites in these early stages, he could try and get up there with Henry J. Brown, as there is, I think, Jokoba Zukauskas. He's going to try to be the next man to get past really Sundevik, and with the DRS he sails past. Nothing Sundevik can do there, but he's still going to try his best to get back the position here, just like he tried on Ollie Boaks. Not sure if it's going to work here, Giuseppe.
Yeah, Sundevik now is going to lose maybe even another position, and Zukauskas actually, I think, gets the move down there. But of course we've seen Main Drivers coming back once again at them, as now we look at the battle for last place, which is Valji versus Below. Valji keeps hanging on to the outside, which now turns into the inside. Close racing side by side, but now we see a lot of people using the outside line to their advantage into this corner, which is Mobile 1. It's very close, no contact I think, and I think Below just keeps onto the spot as actually Valji goes a bit wide. Maybe blocks up a bit and keeps control of it well, as actually Valiak is now going to the Tilsey, as Tilsey went wide as well. Maybe might try and move into the first corner with DRS, but he actually has to watch out for Below. It's very close to him as well.
And Valiak, obviously, who probably got damage in the opening lap after that contact with Konkum, could be struggling a bit with some parts of the car, so he could have a tiny bit of damage on that virtuosi machine of his. But Henry J. Brown now does set the fastest lap of the race, so Henry is absolutely flying here to try and take his second win of the season, as we're now looking at Hangmin Nguyen. He's chasing down really Sundevik for 13th. There's Nikhil Walji down the inside of Jean-Francois below, but below round the outside line is able to keep it in 20th, and he stays where he is.
Yeah, good attempt, but it's not enough as we now head back to the top of the field. And Shotano is looking very close to the bites.
Yeah, Shotanos at the moment hasn't been able to find an opportunity to go on to the Vites. And Vites is properly losing time on Henry J. Brown at the moment. So Shotanos will have to try and take advantage of Vites' poor pace at the moment in these few opening laps before Henry is able to open up the gap even further.
Yeah, Shotanos does, after a very great move onto Martinez onto the first lap, I remember, now might want to make the move onto the Vites and maybe chase after Henry J. Brown, who knows, as it's still very early on into the race. But now as we head into the hairpin, he does have a look. Actually, there's a bit of contact as well. And the contact, once again, it's light contact, but still, you never know what might happen. Hopefully, thankfully, nothing happens of it. Shotano stays in third, but of course, he's very close there, as you just saw.
Yeah, that was very, very close to contact. He was just completely on the gearbox of the Vites there through the hairpin. But yeah, Shotanos can't quite sniff an opportunity just yet, so he's gonna have to wait maybe a lap or two to try and get up into second here.
Yeah, actually, maybe with that with the DRS now to the straight, can actually close the gap even more and go for a move into the first corner. So now, as he opens the DRS wide, let's see what will come of it. He's not close enough to make a move, but he maybe can use the speed if he got a good exit. Now, as we saw people going side by side onto the straight and then into the hairpin, it's what he might try to do. But for now, he stays behind there in third.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good shot at trying it now with the DRS as he is closing in. Is he close enough to try something here? It's a very, very long DRS zone, obviously, but it's not long enough for Rowan Shotanos, who is going to have to stay behind the Vites. Jokubas Zukauskas is going to go to the inside line of Ollie Bogues. He picked off one high-tech, and he's going to try to get the other one here, as he is going to be side by side with Ollie Bogues now.
Yeah, they now go side by side into the fast right-hander, which will now turn to the outside for Zukauskas, which does not hold him back, because now the next one will be the inside for him. And he does seem to have got a move down, but actually not yet, because Ollie Bogues is still there. As now they're exactly side by side, going through Mobile 1. No contact, comes with it. Actually, I think they do bang wheels a bit. Nothing bad happens though, as actually Zukauskas stays around the outside. He's not giving up. He doesn't go too far off the circuit, which will now turn into the inside for him for 2 times in a row. And I think Zukauskas actually got the place, and he's up into P11.
Yeah, brilliant racing, and I have to say, really, really well done for Jokubas Zukauskas. Pushed on through the entirety of that lap to try and get past Ollie Bogues, and it worked out brilliantly for him as well. So, yeah, great stuff then, and that is going to bring Jokubas Zukauskas into P11. As we look to one battle here, Aaron Curtis could try and make his way past Rosetta Martinez then with the DRS. The Irishman into turn number 6 is late on the brakes as well, but Martinez has the traction on the outside line to keep it wheel to wheel with the Campos, as the two are gonna go wheel to wheel then into turn 7. Curtis has the inside line, and Martinez able to go wheel to wheel with him here.
Yeah, but actually now I think Curtis with the overspeed coming into the next corner as well. I think Curtis actually got the place down, so that's him up into P4.
Yeah, great stuff from Aaron Curtis, and that's going to net him a few more points as well. Here's Nikhil Walji desperately trying not to finish last, as he's going to go side by side with the championship leader, Jean-Francois Below. What an unexpected twist after these last 2 races. But Walji just isn't able to do it then.
It's not looking good for below, but for someone who it is looking good right now, if he actually does capitalize on it, might be Ron Shotanus, as he has some chances to go for that move up into P2 and chase after our so far only race leader this race, Henry J. Brown. But of course, first he has to make that move happen. Actually, he isn't as close as he used to be to eat the lights, but he's still there now. Opening DRS. See what he can do with it, but I think we cut back to another battle because look at Soki there, who is actually very close and on the outside of his teammate there, Nguyen. And actually have a look at Soda as well. This might turn into a 3-5 battle. As now they go down the... Oh look, it might actually make it 3 wide, but as they go down the straight, who will make it out of the hairpin? On the advantage. Oh, that's the HWA's colliding!
Yeah, they make contact then through the chicane. I think one of them was trying to leave space for Ari Soilu, but Soilu, very, very smart not to go for it. And the HWAs just kind of compromised themselves, and now Soilu is going to be able to pick them off one by one. They're still trying to get involved. Soilu is going to go round the outside line of Axel Soki here, and he's going to try, I think he's going to make it work into turn number 11. He does, and that is 1 out of 2 HWAs that he's gotten past them. But yeah, tensions building between the 2 HWA Race Lab cars as both of them make contact with each other.
Yeah, now Soki might even lose from wanting to go up 1 place to losing 2, as Tilsy is now putting under pressure.
Yeah, this could get very, very interesting indeed then, as we're now looking at Rodrigo Jimenez, who is in 8th. I believe he has gone up a few positions from where he started, I'm not sure, but he is going to try to get past Adam Hidayat here, 7th, as he is stuck in a bit of a DRS train at the moment. So yeah, no really big advantage for Rodrigo Jimenez at the moment, as Ollie Boaks is trying to get back that position from Jakubas Zukauskas. Ari Soilu is going to go on to the 2nd of the HWAs. He's going to try to get Hwang Min Nguyen here for P14, as is he going to be able to go alongside the Vietnamese driver? He's just about able to do that then, as we head into turn 10. Uses all the track available to him to find the advantage then. Through the chicane they go. On the inside line, is Nguyen able to make it stick on the outside? I'm not sure then, as they are wheel to wheel. Nguyen on the outside, into the Sachs Corvette they go. It's going to be Nguyen on the inside line, Ari Soilu on the outside line, but he's going to run a bit wide. No problem for Ari Soilu, as he does get past into P14. Great stuff from Ari Soilu.
Yeah, next title for him now is Sundavik, although he's a bit far away. But now we look at Boaks, who looks to be very close to the Lukaku. We actually got him beforehand, if you remember. I think the Lukaku made the move down. Now Ollie Boaks wanting to get that P11 back from him is looking very close here.
Yeah, very, very late on the brakes there. Into turn 2. Looked like he almost was going into the back of Zukauskas, but yeah, it's kind of compromised him on exit there, but he's going to be able to make amends for it with the DRS advantage. As Jimenez is chasing down Hidayat. Boaks into the hairpin. Isn't able to pull anything off on Jakubas Zukauskas just yet. Nikhil Walji though is going to go to the inside line below here.
Yeah, those two battling once again, for battling all race pretty much. The race thus far as actually, sorry, that was a lot of actually, but he finally gets that P20 from below, and below is in the worst case scenario it could be. He's down in last.
Yeah, that is not good news for Jean-Francois Bilal, going P1 and then dead last, coming off from back-to-back wins. I think that's not going to be the best feelings in the world, especially when you got a championship to fight for. As Rodrigo Jimenez still trying to put the pressure on Adam Hidayat, but yeah, DRS trains are quite difficult, I have to say, to try and advance forward from. Difficult to get out when everyone has the same advantage as you.
Yeah, at that point it pretty much just comes all down to how you exit and enter the corners, and you set up for them. So pretty much even equals out these F2 cars even more. and they're already equal. So as we now head into Airpin, as you see, it's probably 4 drivers in this pack around there, and even more if you look back. So it's everyone's still very close. One man who hasn't been close to anyone at all though this race, Henry J. Brown. Just wanted to mention that on the sides because he's 4 seconds up ahead. But yeah, it's been a very good race for the Portuguese driver here. But now we cut back to the front of as we look at Alex Luan chasing down Rosetta Martinez.
Yeah, and this is the battle for P5 then. Rosetta Martinez, who lost his P4 to Aaron Curtis a few laps earlier, could potentially go down another position if he's not careful here, as he's now got Alex Luan knocking. Rowan Shotanis then still trying to hold off it, still trying to get past either Weitz. Weitz has been holding him off for ages now, it feels like, and it's only benefiting Henry J. Brown here as he's built up a gap of 4.3 seconds to Ida Weitz in second.
As I mentioned before, Henry J. Brown seems to be in a world of his own, but Ron Shotanis might be the one to disrupt that if he finally ends up ahead of Ida Weitz. But even now, it does not look close enough.
Indeed, as we head into the hairpin, he's getting close under braking, but just isn't able to do anything, and he has to stay in third. So I can understand Shotanis probably is feeling quite frustrated. Here is Jake Tillersley then to the inside line of Axel Socki as the two go side by side out of the hairpin and down into turn number 7. It's going to be Tillersley in the Trident on the inside. He's going to have the outside though into the next corner, as that's going to be Socki on the inside line, but he doesn't get the best of runs then, as Tillersley will now have the inside heading out of turn number 10, which should give him an advantage in traction, but Socki gets the better exit despite that. So we head into turn number 11. They're side by side then into turn 12 as well. Late on the brakes, very, very late from Jake Tillersley, as he's going to go a bit wide though, and unfortunately it is going to be no move just yet for Axel Socki. Rowan Shotanis then into turn 1, tried to go for the opportunity there, had a look on the inside, went up and alongside actually, but just had a very poor exit out of turn 1.
And now that does bring him very close in on the straight, which has DRS as you know, and Weitz does not, considering he's 4.5 seconds off the car in front of him, which is the race leader. But still, Shotanis just doesn't need to bring himself close enough. Doesn't try to go for a dive. Actually, you see him come very close. But someone who actually is very close for a move is Håkan Olsen as he goes onto the inside of Jimenez. We might see another battle forming up here, as we've seen many drivers stay alongside each other for nearly like the whole entirety of sector 2 and sector 3, as that might be what could happen right now. But actually Olsen backs off, might try a move later on, but that was very good defending by Jimenez.
Yeah, Jimenez strong on the defense and not looking to let more points slip away here in this race. So good job from Rodrigo Jimenez to stay in 8th, and at least there is one dams in the podium then, as we're now looking at Rowan Shotanis still putting the pressure on Ida Weitz. If he gets a good exit out of this last corner, he could try something into turn 1 again, as he's got the DRS, but into turn number 1 he isn't able to do anything. Runs a bit wide on exit, it looked like as well to me.
Yeah, it did look like to me as well. Maybe he just bumped a bit too much over the curb, but only he can make it up for in these corners now, and actually with the DRS as well. So it's all up. It's all in his hands. But honestly, I might want to mention something. Curtis has been getting closer each lap, and so has Martinez. So I actually might want to watch out and go for a move quickly onto Weitz before he actually has to turn to his offense into defense, as you like to say sometimes. Because that could be what's happening right now. It seems like he heard me, because he's now going for a move down the inside. Can Shotanis finally make it count, as we see them going side by side for P2, that is. So we're now going to head into the fast right-hander. Shotanis seems to have the upper hand, but Weitz now has the inside, defends well. Shotanis has to back off again, and look how close Curtis and Martinez are getting.
Yeah, that is not ideal for Rowan Shotanis. Here's Håkan Olsen now fighting with Rodrigo Jimenez, heading out of turn number 10. They're side by side into turn 11 they go then, as Olsen's there on the inside line through the fast right-hander. And now into the slow left of Zax. It's going to be Olsen trying to go around the outside line. Isn't able to keep it on the track though. And unfortunately, it's going to be, unfortunately for Håkon Olsen, he isn't able to make the move stick. But yeah, now then, for Rowan Shotanus, it is not really playing into his hands at the moment. But I have to say, on that last lap, I think he Vites defended very, very well.
It's very good defense from Vites. He does not. He actually caught up a bit to Brown as he was 4.5 off before. Now he's 4.3. So maybe he's putting a bit of pace on. But if it's not that, he's putting off a very good display of defense. So I have to give him props to that. As now actually Shotanus might try and go for it again with the DRS open, as he has had it open for a lot of times now onto the straight, and I think he's gotten familiar to it. And now he's finally trying to get more daring and going down the inside. Can he make it count this time around? As they go side by side once again, will Vites once again have more grip and get the edge onto Shotanus, as now gonna head into the turn. Shotanus actually stays around the outside this time, so maybe this time is Shotanus' moment. And they go side by side. Can he finally get the move done after 16 laps? Oh, it's very close racing. Now we head into the Zax Kurve. Shotanus late on the brake, swoops around the outside. Will he go wide? No, he doesn't. And Rowan Shotanus finally makes the move up into P2.
Yeah, brilliant battle, and finally all of his efforts pay off. Rowan Shotanus up into second place in this race then, and he finally waited 16 laps to be able to do that, and the feeling must be very, very sweet for Rowan Shotanus.
Yeah, so he got the overtake, I think, onto Martinez, that was for P3. Now he finally gets himself one position up more than that, and ironically, they've gained onto AJ Brown while battling, so maybe Brown is dropping a pace a bit, but now Shotanus' next target is the Portuguese in the lead.
Yeah, and he is closing in, mind you, as he divides. Ooh, contact! Yeah, it was contact between the two, and I think that could present itself as a little bit of damage for the pair of them, because it was quite a bit of contact. It didn't upset the cars or anything, but you could see it was a bit of a whack into the rear of Shotanus. So I don't know. I don't think Rowan would be too happy about him. As here is Michael Valiak, stricken Michael Valiak, and Nikhil Walji now fighting it out for P19. As the two go side by side then. Walji on the inside, heading out of turn number 10 and into 11. They're wheel to wheel then through these next two couple of corners, as Walji's there on the outside trying to make it stick. Late braking on the outside line, but it just runs out of room and goes onto the grass. And unfortunately for Nikhil Walji, he's going to have to stay behind in 20th. Going a bit further up the field then, Adam Hidayat now chasing down Alex Luan for P6 in this race. So he could definitely try and get himself up into 6th in this race, as he's got the DRS. He's going to go to the inside line of Alex Luan. Into the hairpin we go then, as they are side by side in the Trident and the Carouse. As we head out into turn number 7, Hidayat will have the inside line. Luan having to defend the long way round as we head into turn number 11. No, sorry, turn 8 this is. What am I saying turn 11 for? Either way, through the turn 9 and 10 chicane. Hidayat on the inside line, heading out of it, but it is Luan who got the better exit, as we now make our way into 11 and then 12. Luan trying to make it stick on the inside line. Hidayat tries to do it as well, but he's gone onto the fast. Very, very off, yeah. And Hidayat will stay where he is as the two HWAs fighting once again. Axel Soki going off the track as well. And Hwang Min Nguyen stays where he is. It's getting tense between the two HWA teammates today.
Yeah, other than that, I didn't see the cars going that far off into the after the Zax Kurve as well, but now they've done it twice in a row. So it seems like they're, well, I mean, with 8 laps remaining only in this Grand Prix, of course, now it's we're approaching the moment of the race. You know, I like to call now or never because it's pretty much coming soon enough. As now we look at Hidayat in this pretty much DRS train, which he's one of the guys at the front of it. So that means that Luan barely has any DRS, and he takes advantage of that. As Hidayat now out of the Spitzkehre into the next turn. They're staying very close side by side now. We've seen this many times, but can Hidayat make it count as he stays there? Not make the move stick yet, but it turns into the inside. Let's see which one of them has more grip and the better exit, but they seem to be very equal on pace. As now into the fast right-hander. Hidayat still hasn't got the position done, and now into this whooping left-hander, which many people have actually got it wrong, but he doesn't. He stays on the track. Can he get the move done now? As we've seen many people get it done here, and it's actually Luan gets a bit off as well, and actually he slows down as well. That was very weird, and now Hidayat has lost the P6 he just gained.
He went over the curb. The curb completely threw him off. He was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it looked like he went on 2 wheels there for a second. So the curb completely messed him up there, Adam Hidayat. That was a move that would have been an incredible move if he actually pulled it off, but just got it all wrong there in the end, unfortunately.
It just, when it had to make a count, it just all breaks down, and that's how it is sometimes. But he's still got some time left, and he's seen he has the pace. And actually, maybe as I'm speaking, he might try it now once again, but I'm proven wrong as he stays behind for now. As we go back to Assetto Corsa, who actually might see another the HWA teammates fight once again here because they're very close to each other.
Yeah, it could definitely be round 3, I think, round whatever. I'm not sure. They fought so much under these past 20 laps. It's hard to keep track. As Nikhil Walji is now going to go on to Michael Valiak for P19 here. So the two are going to be side by side once again into turn number 8. Wheel to wheel they will go through 9 and 10 now. Jean-Francois Bidot trying to pick up the scraps from this battle. So we head down into turn number 11 now. And into turn 12, Michael Valiak thinks shouldn't have an issue defending from him, but Walji still tries to make it stick on the outside line, but Walji runs wide, and as a result, Michael Valiak will stay in P19. Here's something interesting then, Giuseppe. The thing that I wanted to talk about, just on our screens now, Rowan Shotanus, 7/10 off Henry J. Brown. And mind you, the likes of Ida Weitz and Aaron Curtis aren't too far off either. So it seems that Henry J. Brown's pace finally might be falling off a bit towards the later end of the race now.
Yeah, actually Henry J. Brown, he's lost a lot of time. As actually he was losing it as well when Shotanus and Weitz were fighting. So now you head down a bit further down the field, as we see actually. I'm gonna say Sharkowski, but look at the HWAs just fighting once again. So we can take a look at that. Soki now the car behind, trying to make a move. Let's see what it comes out of it. Both HWAs, they're not making contact like they did before, which of course wouldn't be a very nice thing to discuss in the debrief, but they're keeping it respectful. Soki might actually have the upper hand now, but of course Nguyen with the outside has a bit more grip, but then here onto the next turn, it's where it kind of becomes decisive as they stay very close to each other. Soki might try and go around the outside. We've seen many drivers have grip. Can he make it stick? If he doesn't go too wide, maybe he's done it, but actually goes too wide. And it's all broken down for Soki, he stays in 16th.
Naxel Soki has basically been throwing everything at his teammate Hwang Min Nguyen to try and get past, but he just hasn't been able to these past few laps, which is, I guess, a bit of a shame for Soki, but Nguyen has been very strong on the defense, keeping his calm and holding him off. So yeah, while it is very, very hard racing, I'm going to interrupt myself here, is that Rowan Shotanus is gonna go onto the race lead here. He's gonna try to get Henry J. Brown as we head into turn number 7. This is not quite just yet for Rowan Shotanus. Was able to go up and alongside, but wasn't able to carry on the battle.
Yeah, Shodan is looking very promising here in this final few laps. Mind you, it's only six laps remaining. And look at that, so the HWAs again putting up some good entertainment for us here as they're racing here now into Mercedes. And now Soki might actually have a bit of the upper hand here as Nguyen looks to be a bit more behind than usual. So yeah, actually Nguyen tries to go for a sort of switchback move onto Soki, but doesn't work out. So Soki finally maybe has the 15th place. I say maybe because with these two, this race, you wouldn't really know.
Yeah, finally Axel Soki is able to get past then. Nguyen tried, yeah, you can see he tried to pull off a bit of a switchback there, tried to sell him the dummy maybe, but wasn't able to do that. So, yeah, Axel Soki now finally ahead of his teammate up at the P15 as we're looking at Rowan Shotanus trying to close in on Henry J. Brown here as we head into the hairpin. Shotanus getting very close under braking, but isn't able to do anything there. There's Aaron Curtis in the background though. He's going to try to get Ida Weitz out of the podium places here as he's going to go to the inside. Could Aaron Curtis get himself onto the podium here today? At the moment, it's not to be, as Weitz is able to hold off the Irishman for the time being. There's Jean-Francois Bilot trying to go onto Michael Valyak. Almost contact between the two. And Bilot isn't able to do anything there.
Yeah, good attempt, but of course, not the best situation for Bilot he's in. But now, let's cut back to probably the biggest highlight of today's race because Shotanus is now closer than ever. Brown, who's been he's been comfortably, but maybe a bit too comfortably sitting in the race lead, might be now paying the consequences of it as Shotanus looks very, very keen on getting that P1 and is willing to fight for it with everything he has. So now, at lap 24 of 27, with only about 4 to 3 laps to go, it's, as you know, now or never for Rowan Shotanus.
Yeah, it really is. Could be a second race win this season for Henry J. Brown, or it could be Rowan Shotanus' first win in, I believe, 2 seasons. So it would be a special one for Rowan Shotanus as Aaron Curtis is going to go to the inside line of Ida Weitz once again here.
This is for the podium, mind you, as Weitz might actually lose out on the podium altogether. Even though he was looking very good on defense earlier on, Curtis might surprise him here, but actually he's proven me wrong because while he might have lost P2, Weitz defends very well to at least keep that P3 spot as we now head back to another battle and further back because Wunderberg wasn't able to make the move. But Gomez might onto Tilsley as they're now side by side. Gomez, can he get it done? Tilsley is a bit far ahead, but of course onto the outside we've seen on this corner, you do seem to get a better exit. Now Gomez and Tilsley side by side, he's going to get the better of it. I'd say that Gomez is looking pretty good here as actually he's pretty much side by side with Tilsley and now can use the outside line grip to get it done. Or if he doesn't go too far off, he doesn't. Let's look at that. Does he finally get it done? Oh, it's actually a similar situation with Hidayat and he loses the place again. It's a very similar situation. We did get a bit of a deja vu there. Very weird.
Yeah, we definitely did. Gabriel Gomez, just like Adam Hidayat did it, pulled off the move, but just went a bit too much to the inside. Went a bit off the track and went over the curb, and that just completely upset the car. And as a result, he wasn't able to get past us. Alex Luan is now going to try to get past Rosetta Martinez here. Martinez, who, as I said, did lose a position to Aaron Curtis a few laps earlier, could lose out with 2 laps to go here, but not at the moment. Martinez denies Luan for the time being. Tobias Schwulenberg is going to try to get another point to his name in his home race as he's going to go side by side, wheel to wheel with Håkon Olsen here for P9 as they are side by side. Is he going to be able to get it done? Then Tobias Schwulenberg into Zax. He's going to go around the outside line and keeps it on the track then. And I think that's going to be the move down for Tobias Schulenberg. Yes, it is. Great stuff from Tobias Schulenberg, and that is how you pull off a move.
Yeah, it was very strong stuff there from well the home hero essentially getting one more point than he would have gotten. So decent performance from him today. We now cut back a bit further up to Alex Luan, who we saw him battling with Rosetta Martinez, but it looks like a three-way battle here for P5 between Martinez, Luan, and Hidayat. Let's look at this then.
Yes, indeed. As Luan closing in with the DRS. Martinez, who's been struggling to keep up with the pace of Aaron Curtis, just up ahead. Luan isn't able to do anything just yet then, and Curtis seems to have dropped off from the Weitz a bit. And with 2 laps to go, then this is going to get interesting, Giuseppe. Are we going to have that battle for P3 going again? And are we going to have Rowan Shotanus potentially be able to challenge Henry J. Brown for the race leading his final 2 laps?
Well, Mir, to that, I tell you, we're all going to find that out in the next 2 minutes as we see them on the minimap and even here now on track that they're going to the Zaxkove and then to the final 2 corners and heading down to the straight. Brown will announce the final lap, essentially lap 27. It's been a long race, which is now eventually going to come to a close, and we've got very, very close battles here.
Yeah, it has been a race with very, very close battles. We've got action. We've had action up and down the field, and now then for one final lap, one final chance for any driver to try and attempt to move, but I don't think any of them are close enough to each other. Rowan Shotanus is 8/10 off. Aaron Curtis 1.3 off a divide. So I think, as much as we maybe would have hoped for an action-filled ending, Henry J. Brown might just be able to get away with this.
Yeah, we see Valji now, like you can see battling all over the field. Honestly, Hidayat and actually below here as well. Honestly, I don't know who to say is looking very close because everyone's looking very close. So below now on the last lap might try and salvage something of this race and not end up in last as he tries to move to Valyak and doesn't quite make it stick. But as it's soon coming to a close, I'd say we head back to Henry J. Brown, who's now going through the Zaxkove. And soon enough, well, the man who was put a bit under pressure by Shotanus here, now going to the penultimate corner and through the Zutkove. After getting pole in beautiful fashion, Henry J. Brown heads down the straight and wins the German Grand Prix. Shotanus just comes up short. Very good charge back to chase after Brown, but unfortunately it was not enough. But honestly, good job by both of them, and well, that's this very eventful race coming to a close, which honestly I could not sum up because there were so many battles. No, our championship leader shockingly lost.
Yeah, and that is it then. A lot of things to take away from this race, but it is Henry J. Brown who wins this race. It's Rowan Shotanus is second, and Ide Weitz both taking their first podiums of the season. Aaron Curtis finishes in the points once again with Rosetta Martinez in 5th. Alex Luan is P6 with Adam Hidayat in 7th. Then it's Rodrigo Jimenez, Tobias Schulenberg, and Håkon Olsen rounding out the top 10.
Outcast, who just about missed out on points, is in P11. Ollie Box in P12, and Arizona in 13th. And we have Sundrik in 14th, and then we have 2 familiar names for this race, Axel Soki and Juan Min Nguyen, who fought for a lot of the race, even had contact there, the 2 HWA teammates, but Soki was the one to come off better of the 2. Jake Tilsley in 17th, Gabriel Gomez in 18th, and we have Nikhil Wojcik in 19th, Michal Valjak in 20th, and in 21st we have our not-so-championship leader anymore, Jean-François Bilot and Toyota Konkum, sadly DNF'd in the first turn, and that's all the drivers for today.
Yeah, that is it then for Formula 2. Before we go, it's time to give out driver of the day. And Personally, I'm going to give it to Henry J. Brown. Yes, again, it's boring to give it to the race winner, but he had such a solid weekend. I'm going to be honest. He was brilliant in qualifying and absolutely brilliant in the race as well. So he gets my driver of the day. What about you?
I'd agree with you there. And honestly, an honorable mention would go to Rush Shotanas for me. After two very strong moves, he just came up short in the end. But yeah, I'd agree with you there. But I'd like to mention Shotanas definitely, who also deserves a shout.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was absolutely great today as well. But that has been it then for Formula 2. Thank you so much for watching. But the action at the Hockenheim Ring does not end. Make sure to not miss the next time we will head to the Hockenheim Ring as Formula 1 will be heading to this track in the following days for the German Grand Prix. So make sure to not miss that. Until then, I have been Miran.
And I've been Giuseppe.
Thanks so much for watching Formula 2, and we will see you when the ACC return.